Good morning, it is Susan at Seaside Stitches and it is day 15 of Vlogmas. I had a kind of wasted day yesterday. I couldn't get on with things. I had a sofa day, didn't feel very well, but I feel a lot better today. So I'm propping myself up and I'm wearing red, and this jumper I must have made in the late 90s. Most of it on night duty, I think. And you just keep stuff, and then at one point I think I relegated it to just wearing to do jobs in and in the garden, and at some point I'd relegated it to my painting jumper, and I can't get that off now, but I found it again recently, and so I've been wearing it, and it really feels enlivening for me today. And today it's very important because I'm doing very well with the yellow wobbly guy, and just taking some time off that just for this morning, or maybe today, to do an outfit for drumming. So I managed to get this in a charity shop, which is a little bit Christmas tree like, and that's not the issue really, it's just something bright. I'm zhuzhing this up somehow a bit Christmassy, and although the skirt doesn't exactly match, it's my green skirt and I can use it with some of the braid on. I'm planning to put some braid, some lace and some braid around the bottom, about, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches up, and so I've got a selection of Christmas kind of ribbons and binding and things. So I'm going to add some ribbon to this for a start, and then mark out where I'm going to put it, and then add things to it as I go along. So that's me for just for now. Yes, I'm hoping to come back onto you a bit later. I just had a bit of a funny thing this morning. When is your hair too long when you find that you've trapped it in the tea caddy? It's just one of those. Anyway, and I only washed it a couple of days ago, and I obviously ladened it a little bit heavily with conditioner, so it's all gone a bit heavy and flat. Anyway, I hope you're having a lovely day. I hope your Christmas or your holiday planning is going very well, and I hope the weather is kind to you, and I'll see you a bit later on. So I'm feeling a bit Christmassy already now. Okay, so now I am just changed my thread. I've got a green on top, I've got a white underneath, although I'm just sewing it to this for now, so that will need, that's why I'm putting a white on the back. I'm adjusting what I thought I was doing because it's going to take me too long to do it. Just been downstairs because I have a little tray of things that I take down so that if I'm doing something downstairs. But I left my snips. I don't like to be without my snips. I don't know why I threw my thread that way because my catch is the other way. As I have mentioned, I'm not moaning about it, but my arthritis in my hands is a little bit of a nuisance today, and so they're not quite bending as easily. My fingers, yes, there we go. Perfect. So, right, what had I decided to do? What I thought I was going to do was put this around here, about that level, and then sew it on the skirt with on the white bit. But because of the frill, it's getting complicated, and I'm going to have to fit it to it or not fit it to it, if you know what I mean, so that it also gathers, and I haven't got enough ribbon for that, so I think I'll wear this around my neck so I can keep track of it. This is just a very rudimentary thing. Just need to make sure that that ribbon kind of stays on that little edging binding. It's not a competitive kind of thing, it's just a fundraiser. If I go there and pop that, oops, not even on. Oh, I haven't turned on the plug for my machine. Now I have. Edge there, whatever I put that on, I'm going to use this part of the foot to have off the edge of the ribbon, and then the needle should go where I want it to go. And I don't quite know where my little thread catcher things are, my leaders. Anyway, never mind. So I still have to do some kind of funny thing on the, it's a kind of 10 or 8 or 10 gauge skirt, so there's going to need to be a bit of manipulation on it. Right, I think I'll have that a bit tighter. As I say, it's more for impact. Sorry, it's no good talking while my machine's on. It's more for impact, to make it look a bit Christmassy. It's not a competitive thing. Oh, I've got a thread. Put my needle down and it's catching on both, so that's fine. Rather than sew over the top of my fingernails, it'd be better if I used my By Annie stylus. This is just from Fleetwood Market. It's not it's just a relatively cheap import. I'm sure that doesn't mean the stores wouldn't have the same kind of thing. It's a bit of an economy way of doing things, really, this. We are part of Wigan True Levellers Community Samba Band, and the first fundraiser that we did with them was for the Wigan and Lee Hospital Cancer Department, as one of the former members had treatment there and did a lot of voluntary fundraising for them. So we did that, and Tony, the person who set up the band, Tony, dressed up in the mascot for the hospital, which is a giant teddy bear. And he nearly passed out. It was massively hot. And he didn't realise till the end of the do that it had a fan inside that it could switch on. The band is set up to draw attention to wrongs that need righting, really. So some of those are political, some of them are not. And some of them, it's a voluntary thing. We don't usually charge for our services. Some people will offer some financial support to help keep the band going. And lots of people who've joined the band have benefited, their mental health has benefited for having something regular to do, to be able to express themselves and to give the satisfaction of giving you time for something that people in the band feel is worthwhile. But it's voluntary for each member to join in any action or activity that they want to. No one is forced to do anything they don't want to support, which in my book is lovely and very democratic. Well, it's not difficult, this. I'm just managing a few different things. So I'm trying to keep this level on top of here, but also manage the gathers that are throwing it off. And this little bit of binding is nylon or something, so it's kind of a bit slippy on slippy. So with the band, I find it quite therapeutic, learning new rhythms. You don't need to have any musical knowledge or experience, and I like to jig about while I'm drumming. My body just decides to move whether I'm intending it to or not, We find it good for us because we can both go to it. So it's Mr. Seaside Stitches and Mrs. Seaside Stitches can both get enjoyment from it, and that's good. Let's look at how this is going. So it's not quite what I'd planned, but I'm very happy about it at the moment. By Annie Stiletto. I was trying not to stab myself with it when I'm moving things about. I went a bit wonky there. Trying not to, as I'm stretching the ribbon, and turn it this way so that I don't stab myself in the abdomen. I'm just trying to cover, in some places the broderie anglais hasn't been caught by the binding, so I'm just trying to catch that as I'm going along. See there, it's come away. So as I say, this is quite a crude. I just need to get it on, so I'm not doing some. I could put elastic on the back, or I could gather this, but I'm not. I'll do that as I'm going along. So I'm just using the chalk marks that I made just to loosely make sure that that won't pull on the skirt. I don't want the skirt pulled tighter. I don't want to be tripping up with a massive drum. I just hope we can go, because last week, I think on Monday or Tuesday, they were hit with snow, waking up to a winter wonderland, some of them were saying. And we are just walking this town centre into Wigan. It's not exactly a march. We just walk from where we practice is just slightly outside the centre, so we will walk up, probably drumming, and then settle on the. It's just up a little hill, so. We go past Wilkie's or Wilkinson's, and it used to go past Marks and Spencer's, but that closed. We used to stand outside Smith's, and I think W.H. Smith, I think that's closed as well. And I believe one year they were drumming outside the bank and set the alarms off. And we have been asked, could we move on for a little while, because the people in the cake shop couldn't hear what pies people were ordering. I'm not quite sure, but Wigan, for some reason, is famous for pies. Oh no, that's gone missing. Well, there it is. Okay, I need to remeasure that. Where's my little 4-inch ruler that I'd got in the way? 4-inch ruler? I mean, it's 6.5-inch ruler, but I've been using the number 4 to guide me. Right, 3 1/4. Let's see. With moving this about quite a lot, I've rubbed off the chalk marks. I need to make sure I don't leave any pins on this table, because I'm going to be doing the toy after. Okay, that's you. It may be a bit wonky. I'll have to move about a lot if it is. I might be having to give it some samba rhythms that aren't really required. Oh, wait up, I've got enough. I did measure it. I might be being a bit too slack. If so, I will have to adjust it, but that's okay. Ooh, will it make it? I think it will. It's been a bit of a tough piece of fabric, though. Oh gosh, yay, meat, hair everywhere. Okay, now I'm not cutting that end off until I am satisfied that it will do what I want it to do. So I should just pop a pin in there, and then I bet I didn't turn this on. Right, let's see, my knee blanket, my little old woman knee blanket. I was going to try it on halfway through. I took it out of the machine. Then I realised I could lose, lots of pins could start falling out and I'd have to measure it again. So I didn't do that, but I did hold it against me at the mirror and it was looking good. I don't know whether this second half will be as successful, but I'll know in a minute, won't I? It's feeling like there's not a lot of gather in the, not gather, extra in the ribbons. There we go. And then I just have to fix it together. I didn't want to do that under tension, so which way is it? I think it's time for lunch and I will be back in a little while. There are 3 parts to our outfits, just whatever we wear, which we can dress up or dress down or just be comfy or warm or whatever. And then there is the drum skirt or drum apron and the harness if you've got a big drum. And then we also have some of these used from the t-shirt that has our logo on. This was painted by one of our drummers who is a known artist and donated the image for us to put on our t-shirts. But when it's a special thing, I just start this off because it's just making me a bit... Right, that's in line now. I can start when I'm ready. There were some larger t-shirts and I cut one up to make this. Okay, I'll come off this because I may have come a bit too far down. I needed to be a little bit higher up because I have a heart to avoid on here. See how that goes. I first made this during the COVID outbreak when we had a number of deaths in the NHS, particularly in Wigan, and we went to just a drive-through because we weren't all allowed to mix, but to honour the people who'd worked for the NHS, who were continuing to work for the NHS and who were supporting the NHS. And this is very apt again at the moment. I was formerly a nurse before I did my psychology degree and my counsellor training, psychotherapy. This is just a way of highlighting our support again as we're doing a Christmas function as well. I forgot to do this on a larger stitch so I could pull it out again, but it doesn't matter. I'll work out a way to finish it the nearer I get. That will hang down from my harness down my back. A bit of extra warm for my bottom, you know. Let's see what happens with this. Might not be a good idea. I don't know yet. Just realising I was poorly yesterday and we didn't go to drumming practice, and it was meant to be the night that the round table bring the sleigh round. Oh yes, that'll do nicely, thank you very much. Not going to be seen that closely and my bum will be bouncing up and down with the swaying of the music. Thank you if you're still with me at this point. I'm going to bring it to a close now because I've got a little bit more to do and I'll put that on the next day's Vlogmas. I did do it the next day, but I've not been able to upload everything in sequence. So I'll see you soon. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye. Susan.